This story contains sensitive themes and is presented strictly for educational and documentary purposes.
Now what? What is it?
What's this in this playpen right here?
What do you mean? This?
Did you put a human in that playpen?
No, he sleeps out at night. I have to watch him. But no, he sleeps in the bed with me.
Ella, you put a human being in this cage?
No.
Go out there and sit down, Ella. Go out there and sit down.
Not every crime begins with a scream. Some begin quietly, so quietly that they blend into routine, familiarity, and daily life. In this case, there was no immediate emergency call describing an active crime. There were no flashing lights at the beginning, no dramatic confrontation. Instead, there were fragments, incomplete accounts, shifting explanations, and a woman who appeared frightened but unsure how to explain why. At first glance, it seemed like confusion. But confusion, when repeated, becomes a pattern. And patterns are where investigations truly begin. The people connected to this case did not immediately describe violence. They described inconvenience, discomfort, misunderstandings. But beneath those words existed something far more disturbing. A system of control that had been operating quietly, without interruption. No one told the same story twice. One person said she had left hours earlier, another claimed she was never there. Later, someone admitted she had been present, but only briefly. Timelines shifted, details softened, responsibility dissolved into uncertainty. In investigative work, this is rarely coincidence. When multiple people alter their accounts, it often points to fear. Fear of consequences, fear of retaliation, or fear of disrupting a power structure that already exists. The case was no longer about locating a person. It was about understanding why truth itself seemed unstable. No overturned furniture, no obvious destruction. But something felt wrong. The space was crowded yet empty. Lived in, yet emotionally cold. Items were scattered without purpose. Rooms felt monitored rather than inhabited. These details matter, because environments often reflect behavior. Control does not always require force. Sometimes it exists through presence, through the constant awareness that someone is watching, listening, deciding. In places like this, independence erodes slowly. The woman at the center of the case did not live freely. Her movements were observed, her decisions questioned, her independence discouraged. She had learned that compliance minimized conflict. Speaking up created tension, silence created safety. Experts describe these dynamics as long-term psychological control, environments where autonomy is slowly replaced with dependency. This type of control rarely looks dramatic. Instead, it becomes routine. And routine is difficult to question. No one described themselves as a victim. No one described themselves as an aggressor. People described how things were. This is one of the most dangerous aspects of prolonged control. When harmful behavior repeats long enough, it stops feeling harmful to those living inside it. Boundaries blur, standards shift. And what should trigger concern becomes background noise. She did not immediately describe everything. Her words were careful, measured, hesitant. This is common. When a person has spent years being monitored or dismissed, speaking freely feels unsafe, even in the presence of help. Her account did not unfold as a confession. It unfolded as fragments. Fear, dependence, confusion. Each detail added weight to what investigators were beginning to understand. Multiple individuals had played roles, some active, some passive. Some minimized what they had seen, others claimed ignorance. But evidence does not rely on comfort. Statements contradicted physical realities. Spaces revealed truths words attempted to hide. This was not a misunderstanding. It was a failure of accountability. How long had warning signs existed? Who noticed them and chose not to act? Institutional failure rarely announces itself. It happens quietly, through inaction, through assumptions, through the belief that someone else will intervene. In this case, no one did. Charges were filed, custody decisions were made, oversight agencies intervened. But consequences do not erase harm. They only acknowledge it. The emotional impact of prolonged control does not disappear when a case concludes. It lingers in trust issues, fear responses, and difficulty reclaiming autonomy. It is remembered because of what it reveals. That control can exist invisibly, that silence can protect harm, that abuse does not always look like violence. Some tragedies are not sudden. They are constructed slowly, through silence, normalization, and fear.
Some stories remain alive, not because of what happened, but because of what should have happened sooner. This was Mr. Morgan's True Crimes. The stories behind the crimes the world cannot afford to ignore.